Let me know.
All right, we on that.
We on?
Con.
Hey, Shalom, brother, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem,
Yahweh Shai,
Ba'ashem, Wakaf, Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and our elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, salutations, many blessings to the Hakim across the four corners of this earth, kicking His word in sincerity and in truth. We're from the Great Millstone Dallas camp. I'm the brother Sa'ar. And on the other end of the line, who's recording the lesson is the officer, the brother Yarala. You know, if you want to say something, brother, you know.
Hey, Shalom, Makian, Yabashim, Yashab, Barakathon.
Khan, and we were breaking bread yesterday, just going into the functions of the body and how Yahweh Shai had granted us with these different talents, these different knowledges, the different things from the earth, or different talents that we all have naturally. And how ultimately we don't, I don't want to say we as in just we necessarily, but brothers really, and not in a bad sense, you know, it happens especially like, you know, since we've been so comfortable being in Esau's kingdom. And when I say comfortable, I'm talking about like job-wise and everything, you know what I mean? But pretty much what we need to start doing through the Spirit, and Apostle Har did a lesson on this, but being able to use the talents that Yahweh Shai gave us, and actually use this to generate money throughout the body. Now, within saying this, not like we're talking about being like Nathan and building hospitals for Israel and churches, and no, it's not what we're going into.
Right.
But pretty much the talents that the Lord had gave us, and being able to utilize this stuff, whether we're good at making, certain brothers are good at making oils, certain brothers good at making jewelry, certain brothers can cook. Whatever trade or talent that Yahweh gave you, it's our job to distribute it amongst the body. And within doing that, we can help out brothers. We can help out the apostles. They've been laboring for so long. And I remember Elder Ayathana went into this a few years back in a sense. But, you know, the apostles shouldn't be working anymore. You know, they should have time to actually sit back and just do the work without having to worry about how they're going to pay their bills or having to be late for work or whatever. Ultimately, it's going to be easier for the body to be able to flourish financially. It'll be, you know, tides will be going around. It'll just be a wave of income flourishing throughout the body of Yahweh Shai. And it'll help brothers out with different situations.
That's right.
You know, let's say, for example, the brother that brought this up a little bit ago, you know, you let's say you got a government job or whatever the case is, and then they find out about the ministry and find out about what you do. Or let's say you just lose your job or whatever. We know that it's the time of the grinding shall cease. So it's going to be more difficult. Brother's going to be made more uncomfortable. Well, that can help you out within not having a job or anything. Just solely pushing the things that Yahweh gave you. Of course, we know first and foremost that goes into the knowledge and the understanding and teaching the body. But within that, the Heavenly Father gave us other talents. And the talents that we have physically, we can use that to help us out, to keep us stable. Because as we're going into the scripture in Ecclesiastes, and we're going to get here in a second, but it talks about money being a defense. All right? It ain't like we talking about being rich or anything. No, that's not the case. Fuck the money. That's not what it's about. Mm-hmm. But it's about keeping ourselves stable. Because income, having a steady income, is a defense in Esau's infrastructure. You know, did you have anything to say, brother?
Yeah, just laying back, brother. Yeah. You know, money is defense. It allows us to defense against these curses, this devil being such as a pavement man. And like the brother said, it just helps out, you know, the body, you know, because that's who it also is for. You know, we're building a spiritual body, the house of David, you know, so it's able to help out this economy that we're, you know, for lack of a better term, that we're building, you know, to where we can keep money coming in. And then, you know, brothers, like you mentioned, brothers have certain talents. Brothers are doing oils, brothers make tinctures, brothers can cook, some brothers maybe have a barbershop, or some brothers maybe have another shop, you know, and that way we support each other. And what does that do? That keeps the money in house, you know, similar to Tulsa, Oklahoma, you know, where Black Wall Street, where Jake had their own businesses and they were supporting they had their own economy building to where they were sustaining. Now we know through the curses, it wasn't going to last long, you know, evidently you saw bombed into hell, you know. But this is a spiritual body, you know. We're a spiritual town, you know, because Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. But we're the only ones that are calling ourselves Jerusalem right now, you know, to where Esau can't He can't bomb us, through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, we were protected. Now, not saying that we're not going to have like pitfalls and things happen because we still on these curses until Yahweh comes back and delivers us. But hey, for the most part, the spirit will allow us to take care of each other as long as we have faith and be willing to support each other and put ourselves out there, So we're going to start off with if you had anything else to add, Aku, I'm going to pull this Ecclesiastes.
Let's bust these scriptures out.
All right, it's Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 12. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense.
It makes so much sense how it says wisdom is a defense first. Because when you go with what wisdom is, which we know, of course, it's the scriptures, the words that proceed out of our mouths. If you're in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, of course, that's wisdom. Okay, but also wisdom is the application of the knowledge that you've increased, of the knowledge that you've acquired throughout time, and the wisdom is the executing of it and the experience that you grasp from the executing of the stuff that you learn to the point where it makes you wise and understand it. Now, the reason why I'm saying is because the Heavenly Father had gave us this knowledge, okay? He had granted us with certain gifts. And when you execute the knowledge that you have, and let's say the knowledge is of you learning how to, like you said, cut hair, or learning how to make oils, or having a business, whatever the case is, you know how to use that and apply wisdom with it and do different things with that. Okay? Again, going to helping brothers out. You know what I'm saying? Also, first and foremost, the stuff that you do, you know how, you see how it benefits. You realize how it can benefit one, and you want to use that to help the body out, first and foremost. All right? It's just a sense. Of course, there's many avenues you can go down within this precept, but just what we're going into within this topic, that's what I think about when this is read right here. All right? You can keep going, Dr. Deshaun. Let's see what I have to say.
No, I'm going to keep reading. Ecclesiastes 7:12. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it.
Yeah, so it says wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. Okay? And that's beautiful that that's placed in there, because again, hey, we ain't no carnal niggas. All right? Just want to get that out the way. Okay? I'm going to put it like this. We don't know. We do not know when we getting out of here. Now, hey, we believe it can happen this year. Bakasha, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, please get us out of here soon. You know? But with that being the case, we don't really know exactly when all this is going to pop off. Now, we see the prophecies taking place. We see everything lining up. So we have a very strong feeling that it's going to happen very soon. But that don't need to be an irresponsible nigga or an irresponsible Israelite like the Elder Ariala went into. Okay? Doesn't mean to be irresponsible. Still use the talents that you have. As it's written, it says wisdom is a defense, and it says money is a defense. Okay? So again, we're not carnal. It's not like we're using the money that we have to do carnal things and just to splurge and be a nigga. Because you see a lot of these other camps doing that. Look what IUIC doing, selling breakdowns. Look at that nigga Comfy. All right? He just got thrown in jail for tax evasion. He sold out to Esau and got millions on millions. Look at the nigga now. Carnal. But what we're talking about is using the wisdom that we have and the stuff that the Heavenly Father gave us, these gifts and talents, and distributing among the body so it can circulate just amongst the body, a great millstone, to help pay tithes, to help brothers out when they need it, whatever the case is, to help the apostles to stop working. Whatever the case is, it helps. It's a defense. And like you had stated earlier, you made the statement just a minute ago, how we have a bag of pretty much, like we have a bag of holes in it. You know what I'm saying? We're subject to payments, as you made the statement. Regardless, we're going to be subject to payments, like you said, because we're still under curses. You know what I'm saying? But it'll help out the situation just somewhat. Instead of just sitting down being stuck like Chuck, like I wonder how I'm going to get this money, how I'm going to be able to pay these bills, whatever the case is. If you have a trade or if you got something that you're good at, and you know through the spirit, it'll help the body out. And you have faith, first and foremost, that it will. You got to do it, man. You got to do it. You got to execute it. You got to believe that. And that goes with faith. You know? And that's going to help defend. That's going to help defend. Especially in this time that we're in. You can lose your job shortly. How you going to be able to do what you got to do? Of course, trust in the Lord. But hey, as it's written, wisdom is a defense and money is a defense. And again, Apostle Hall went into this a few months back.
That's right.
You know, it's very important. This is very important that we don't just sit on the talents that Yahweh given to us. You know?
That's right.
That's all I had on that.
Let's we get the next one, and since we've been mentioning talents in the spirit, I'll go and grab that.
Okay.
Matthew chapter 25, and I'll start at verse 14.
And the reason why we're getting this because again, we're going into the gifts that the Heavenly Father had given to different men. Now, of course, like I stated earlier, first and foremost, those gifts go being according to the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that the Heavenly Father had gave us, the different portions that He had given us. Okay? But that's part of that portion. Certain brothers are able to do things with their hands, make certain things, make certain medicine, make certain foods, do certain things that brothers need, and it's going to help benefit it. And it can go out for free. It can go out for free, you know? But the Lord is going to bless you in return. You're going to be blessed in return, whether it be money or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? You'll be blessed. It could be a scenario where you give a brother something free, and you're like, here, brother, you got it. There you go. And the brother's like, the water. Here you go, and give you $40 or whatever in return. That's how He works, man. You don't really know what the Lord got in store for you, man. But when you throw that out off of faith, and you know it was something that the Heavenly Father had given you, and you're helping the body with it, that's what matters.
Yep, that's right.
That's what He looks at.
That's
right. You know?
It's a gain either way. You know what I'm saying? You can get a spiritual gain out of it. The Most High will increase your understanding. He'll increase your faith, you know, or He'll increase you monetarily. You know, you may hook the brother up with it and, you know, just bless him with it, you know. The Most High may send you 3 or 4, 5 more customers from the world, you know. You never know. Right. You never know how this thing happens, you know. But the first and foremost is the idea and the spirit of helping out the body and furthering the truth, man. No matter how it is, no matter in what way, you know. And then the Most High will increase you in that, you know.
That's right.
This is Matthew chapter 25, verse 14. For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. And unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, to every man according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey. Okay. So
it's a part that stood out. It said that was verse 14 you read, right?
That was just in the verse 15.
Okay. Oh, yeah. It said, to every man according to his several ability. Okay? And straightway took his journey. So He said He gave him a portion to his several ability. Okay? So you can have knowledge and wisdom and understanding in something, and that could be something that can help you benefit, you know, financially as well. All right? With that money being in the fence. Okay? And this is an example, not saying, and again, I gotta stress this, because it's not like no Creflo Dollar or no Joe Osteen or none of that bullshit. Those men are crooks, and those men are false prophets. Even a lot of these guys in Israel, like Comfy and Nate, you know what I'm saying? These guys that are charged by congregation for breakdown, selling, and pretty much making the Lord's house a den of thieves.
Yeah. Making merchandise of our people, man. That's not what we're talking about.
That's right.
You know, we're not gonna sell no breakdowns. You know, we gonna do what we've been doing as far as the word, but you know, as far as other things, like I said, that because at the end of the day, if a brother does have to purchase something from you, it's not supposed to do anything but come back into the body anyway. You know.
That's right.
That's the whole point of it. It's for it to keep that cash flow in circulation for the house of David, the hopeful house of David, the elect that we're trying to build. You know. So it ain't about just getting a hustling our brothers. You know, that's not the whole point of this thing. You know, you don't want Jake to take that in that type of way. You know, it's all for the benefit of the body, man. You know. And
that's right.
We're saying this, and we're just not saying this just to be saying. You know, we've been discussing this and putting our heads together for quite some time now for us things that we can do. You know, streams of income and things that and other avenues to be able to help out the body, be able to help out more, tithe more. You know. So it ain't just us just out here just talking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's right. And as it was written, it says several ability. several abilities. We are gifted, brothers. We are gifted. We ain't just like these average people that you see out here. The Heavenly Father that gave us this understanding. You think these people out here making certain things and being crooks, taking money out of your pocket? No, the Heavenly Father gave us understanding on the righteous enough to be able to make things better than these people. Handcraft things better than these people. Jake is the former of all things, and be able to circulate it amongst the body, man.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to circulate these things. This is an ability. He said several. And when you actually look up a talent, when you actually go into what a talent isn't just no matter of fact, the Spirit's telling me to pull the word talent up really quick.
I can pull it up on my end as well.
Okay. Kind of. So let's see here. All right. So when you go into this word talent, that word there is pronounced talenton in the Greek. All right. It says the scale of a balance, a pair of scales, at which is weighed. All right. Because money, again, it wasn't, you didn't have dollars back then. It was pounds, a certain amount of pounds. You know what I'm saying? Of like silver, gold. You know what I'm saying? Back then around that time, you know, because this is around the time of the Roman Empire. You know what I'm saying? So you had a certain amount of gold, silver that was weighted, and the heavier the weight was, the more valuable it was.
Right.
Okay? It says a sum of money weighing a talent and varying in different states and according to the changes in the laws regulating currency. Okay? The Attic talent was equal to 60 Attic mine, or 6,000 drachmae. A talent of silver in Israel weighed about 100 pounds.
Man.
A talent of gold in Israel weighed about 200 pounds. Now, I'm going to do this really quick. I'm going to go on Google, and I'm going to type in how much is 200 pounds of it. That's the Spirit, because I pulled the rest of it up. So I got how much is 200 pounds of gold worth. So I'm going to click on this. And this is spiritual, brothers. You know what I'm saying? But just going deep into the parable what Yahweh was talking about. All right? So, let me see. I'm going to type in 200 pounds. I'm going to hit go. Check this out, bro. 200 pounds is worth 3,820,935. So,
wow.
I'm going to type in 1 talent. Okay? Now, again, this is going to the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that he has given us. Mm-hmm. Okay? So, how much is worth, the wisdom is worth. And with wisdom, you know things. You can do certain things. You can execute certain things. Okay? So, 1 pound of gold is worth $19,098. That's 1 talent. All right? The Heavenly Father had gave us an abundance of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So think about the things. And again, I say we ain't meant to here to be ballers. It's not what I'm talking about. But just the understanding the Lord had given us, and how it should be no problem that we should be able to use His wisdom to help brothers out. You know what I'm saying? And this is something that we're talking to ourselves about as well.
That's right.
Because as the brother and myself was talking about before we started the lesson, within us doing this lesson, execution has to take place.
That's right.
Okay? And not just saying it, but actually do it. Okay? But I just really wanted to pull that up because I found that very interesting. You know?
But yeah, that's a huge measurement, man. You know? And so, like the brother said, it's really about the wisdom that the Most High gave us. And that shows you, when you calculate like that, that's a lot of money. You know? But that's why the scripture say, "Oh, the depth and riches of the knowledge of the Heavenly Father," man. When you read Romans the 11th chapter, you know that wisdom from on high is kind of more worthy than anything. Has more weight on anything on this planet Earth, man. To have the understanding given from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, you know, and to be able to utilize it in the proper spirit, in the proper way. Mm-hmm. You know.
That's right.
So let's go back to Matthew 25 and read verse 6, start at verse 16. Then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded with the same, and made them other 5 talents. And like
he flipped it.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
You know, no, that's it.
Okay, and likewise he that had received 2, he also gained other 2. But he that had received one went and digged in the earth and hid his Lord's money.
That's right. So the gift the Lord gave you, first and foremost, is kind of to the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. But hey, man, let's say if you're good at doing something, you know it's going to help the body out, bro. You know it's going to help the body out, man. If you ain't doing it, you digged it in the earth. Now that's heavy and that cuts.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of us are good at doing certain things and we know it. We know it. Why is that? Because the Lord had granted us with it. We know it. You know? Apostle Hart made the statement, and he cut deep when he said it.
That's right.
He said, should not one brother not have $20 in his pocket?
That's right.
That cut. Because I know it's been scenarios when I ain't had it. Now, of course, granted, you know what I'm saying? It's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? But it cuts still.
Yeah.
But it's like, damn, I should be able to handle myself better, especially with the stuff that I know. And the stuff that I know I can do through the Spirit. You know?
Yeah.
And the Lord can, of course, we know first and foremost, and I got to keep saying it goes to the knowledge and wisdom. You know, but the Lord had granted us with the knowledge and wisdom, and we know we can do certain things with it that he gave us, especially if it's going to be charitable and help the body flourish, help the body operate as that well-oiled machine to be able to be defended financially, especially as these times are getting fucked up. Excuse my language. Right. You know? So to dig that talent into the earth, and Apostle Gabar did a lesson on this, that to hide under a napkin, that really needs to be dead. You know? Because when you hide something, when you dig something in the earth, you're digging it in the ground. You know what I'm saying? And it goes into being dead, being buried.
Yep. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And the Lord could take everything he gave you away just like that, snap of a finger, just because you know what you could have did to help the body out, and you didn't do what you needed to do to feed the sheep. You know?
That's right. Let's see. Do you want to continue on in that?
All
right, this is verse 19. After a long time, the Lord of those servants cometh and reckoneth with them. And so he that had received 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained beside them 5 talents more. His Lord said unto him, Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. He also that had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents beside them. His Lord said unto him, Well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. Then he which had received 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art an hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid, and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast that is thine. And
that goes in the lack of faith ultimately.
God.
You know? Because you know he had gave you those talents to be able to do what you needed to do. And you said, hey, I know you this, I know you that way, I know you're a hard man, you're hard steer. So what I did, I just saved it. So whatever you get, whenever you come back, boom, here you go. You know what I'm saying? You didn't do anything with this knowledge he gave you. What did you do?
Mm-hmm.
What did you do? And he's going to look at you like that. Why? I gave you this, and you know, if you know I'm a hard man, then he's going to say that.
Yep.
If you know I'm a hard man and all that, why'd you do this? What made you feel like that was logical for you to do that? All right? You got your colleagues over here, and y'all co-workers, you're working together. You see them flipping it. You see somebody else flipping it. You know they're in the spirit. So what's your excuse? You know?
That's right.
I gave you the talents. I gave you the talents because I knew what you could do with it. And what did you do? You ain't do nothing with it. You know? All this knowledge and wisdom I gave you, and you just dug it in the earth. Ain't do nothing with it. Take my, give me it back, and I'm going to give it to somebody else who knows what to do with it, who's confident, who believes. Goes to faith, man.
That's
who
right.
believes. Do you believe you can flip this? Do you believe the stuff that I've given you, you're going to be able to do it? He did it in his name. It was something that he gave. He knew it could be flipped. That's why he gave it.
That's right.
He knew the sole purpose of him giving it to him. And somebody else, hey, man, I just dug it in the earth, man. You got to have faith, man, and execute. You got to execute. Got to. If you don't execute, the Lord going to look at you. So you ain't preaching his word. If you ain't preaching it, you just sitting there, just hogging all the, blood on your hands, man.
That's right.
Blood on your hands. You gotta execute. Execution is important.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part. I was having a conversation with a brother, and we was talking back and forth. And pretty much we was going into it, how executing is the hardest part of it. Once you execute, everything else will fall in plan. If it's His will, of course. But once you execute it, that takes 75% of the work, just going out and doing it. And then everything else is going to happen. That's if you believe. But you got to execute it. If you don't execute it and just sit on it, you ain't going to get no reward from it. How you going to benefit if you don't do it?
Yep, that's why the scriptures say, love not in word, but in tongue, but in deed and truth.
That's right.
Actually taking action and doing something, acting upon what's been given to us, to the best of our ability, getting our ass up, man, getting our ass up at the end of the day and actually taking action, but
that's right.
I will continue.
That's right.
Do you have anything else to say, Alec, or?
No, I said I had to say. I know it's a few more verses, I think.
Yes, I'm at verse 26 now. His Lord answered said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knewest that I reap where I sowed not, and gather where I have not strawed. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received mine own with usury. Take therefore the talent from him, and give it unto him which hath 10 talents. For unto everyone that shall have be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath. And cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness, there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
That's right. That's right. So he's going to take the stuff he gave from you and give it to somebody else who believes.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll put that person that believes even on a higher level. And you'll be on a lower level because of your lack of faith. Your lack of diligence.
That's right.
I should say. Because when you go into diligence, that means pretty much promoting, being on fire to promote the cause or what's important. And look at it in a business standpoint. If you ain't promoting your business, if you're not promoting your business, how are you going to come up if it's not promoted? You look at commercials and you see, they're promoting it, and you got certain places that don't got no commercials. How's anybody going to make money? And you got a lot of businesses that don't have commercials, but they make money because they actually have people, foot soldiers, going out there promoting and saying this and that and the third. And using that as an example, but that goes according to the truth. First and foremost, if we're not promoting our Father's business and promoting the talents that He gave us, it's like, how do you expect it to grow? How do you expect it to grow? Of course, you gotta ask yourself, man. Has to go by word of mouth, and has to go by executing it, by making it happen, by doing it, man. He gave us this. He gave it to us. He told us what was going to come of it. He knows. It was written already.
Right.
Part of the algorithm. Just takes the process of doing it, man. Going off the whim of faith.
Yep. Be willing to put yourself out there,
That's right,
brother. Looks like that was pretty much the point on that. I get that 1 Corinthians 12. And where do you want to start out?
You can start at verse 2.
All right, it's 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 2. I'll just start at verse 1. Now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, I would not have you ignorant. Ye know that ye were Gentiles carried away unto these dumb idols, even as you were led. Wherefore I give you to understand that no man speaking by the Spirit of the Most High calls Yahushua cursed, and that no man can say that Yahushua is the Lord, but by the Holy Spirit. Now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit.
That's right. Now there are diversities of different gifts, but the same Spirit. And it goes into what we read in Matthew the 25th chapter, how we pretty much talked about how He gave us different, like a bunch of talents. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Loosely paraphrasing, but He gave us a bunch of different talents. I can't remember how it was worded, but we had talked about it. But it wasn't just one. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was one talent, but it was a certain way it was worded. Matter of fact, I'm going to pull the word up really quick, just so I'm not speaking idly.
Yeah, several ability, I believe that's how he worded it.
Yeah, exactly, several abilities. Yeah, the water, brother.
Come on. You know.
Yeah, we keep going.
Okay. And verse 5, and there are differences of administrations, but the same Lord. And there are diversities of operations, but it is the same power which worketh all in all.
Mm-hmm.
But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal.
That's right, and you got certain words that stand out within that. Now, of course, we know first and foremost this goes to spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It goes to spiritually. There's different gifts that the Lord has gave us. Okay, but there's a manifestation of different ones. And you mean to tell me there wasn't, like, you're going to bring up, and you said you got the precept pulled, and we're going to pull it afterwards, but it goes into what you give, man. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that you do, what you do to the body, what are you doing to the body? How are you benefiting the body? You got certain gifts. You might just have a brother that'll, let's say, for example, you know, he does his 3 videos a week. You know what I'm saying? He might not speak that much at camp or whatever the case is, but, you know, he believes. He believes, he pays tithes. Or he does whatever he does. You know what I'm saying? He might have a business, and it might help the body. Bro, I want to bring this example out. Yeah, Hawashai, bro. After he died, before he was risen up, he was taken into a rich man's sepulcher. That man had to have. He didn't have a key role within the body. He didn't have a key role within the body when it comes to the preaching or the confession of Yahushua. But he had enough income, enough wealth to be able to have a sepulcher of different people, enough wealth to have that, and he put Yahushua's body in there. You know? If he didn't have that substance, he wouldn't be able to do that. That could have been his sole purpose of why he had that quote unquote wealth, I'll say that, or profit. To be able to make that happen. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, Joseph. His name was Joseph.
Okay. Khan, the water. Just just thought about that just now, man.
Yeah.
You know, but there's different gifts the Lord gives us, man. We might not know why at the time, but if you don't execute, you might not find out, and it could be given to somebody else.
That's right. Like the brother said, man. Hey. You know, we gotta take advantage of these gifts now. Like I said, it ain't always about just monetarily as well. You know, if you may not be able to help monetarily, hey, just add to the body, man. Have the spirit of adding to the body in some way, form, or fashion to build up the house of David. You know,
that's right.
You know, we got like the elder Yashwam has been pushing this heavy, lately as of late, you know, within like the past year or so, just as far as amongst our camp, man. Bring something to the table, man. Help.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That's right.
And the apostle been saying as well, don't be no third titty. You know?
Yep.
Help in the spirit, man. You know, whatever the Most High blessed you with, man, help. You know? And in whatever way he has given you, you know, do that to the best of your ability, man, to add, man. You know?
That's right, brother. That's right.
I'll go ahead and give it I'll continue on to verse 8. For to one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom, to another the word of knowledge by the same Spirit, to another faith by the same Spirit, to another the gifts of healing by the same Spirit.
Yeah, that's right. It said to another faith by the same Spirit. And it takes faith to do all the things that we're doing. It takes faith to be able to know that you have a talent that the Lord had gave you, and you know it can benefit the body spiritually or financially. Either or, it's a gift, and the Lord gave it to you. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It takes faith to execute that. You know, to exercise the talents or the different functionalities of gifts He gave you. It takes faith to exercise that and be able to do it. Because for you to do it, you have to see it, you have to envision it, and believe that it's true. That's what makes you want to do it. That's the driving force that makes you do it. That's the faith. You know?
That's right.
You got it.
To another faith by the same Spirit, to another the gifts of healing by the same Spirit, to another the working of miracles, to another prophecy, to another discerning of spirits, to another diverse kinds of tongues, to another the interpretation of tongues. But all these worketh that one and the self same Spirit, dividing to every man severally as he will. There goes that word again.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That's right.
For as the body is one and hath many members, and all the members of that one body, being many, are one body, so also is Hamashiach.
That's right, man. And that's pretty much the key point on that. You know what I'm saying? When you read that, but it goes into how there's several abilities within the body. You know what I'm saying? Yahweh gave us all different talents. And if we're not using those talents he's given us, then, you know, we're taking what he's done for us for granted. That he had given us. Again, when you go into what a talent is, man, that's equated to a large amount of money. So he's invested a lot into you. Well, like when he says, I bought you with a price,
I was just thinking,
as it's written.
Yep.
God is a spirit. You know, that's an investment that the Heavenly Father had given you. And he wants to see what you're going to do to help flip that. And again, whether it goes spiritually, which is the most important way to do it, how you're going to flip that, and what you're going to get in return, but also, too, it can go into physically. What he has given you, the knowledge. Like, for example, me, I'm just using myself as an example. I'm learning how to make oils. And they've been helping. And I want to push that through the body. You know what I'm saying? And there's brothers that's like, man, I want to buy some of this. You know, so it's on me to like, oh damn, brothers want this, and they're even if it was free, because giving it free. But even if brothers were like, I want to get some, can you just give me some? I'll give it to them. But the fact that brothers were like, I'll buy some, and it's not even just not asking what they're offering. It's like, damn, like this stuff works. How is this going to help? I want to use this to help the body, and that's just an example of myself. And I know there's different examples of different brothers and whatever they do. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. Let's say, for example, like give something, or somebody gives something to a brother. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, man, here you go in return. And they just give it to you. You don't ask. That's helping out. But if you have that and you're not pushing that forth, and you know that it benefits the body, that's what makes it bad. Because it could have helped somebody out, and you didn't do it. You didn't do it. That's when the fault's on you. You know, and I just wanted to use myself as an example of one of my talents that I had. You know?
That's right. You know, yeah. If you're able to help out, man, you know, like I said, that is considered bad, man. You know, to know that you can do good and not do it, man. You know, the Most High looks at that, man. You know, so we should, like the brothers, like we've been saying, man, it's time for us to get off our ass, man, and help out the body as much as possible. You know, at the end of the day, man, maximize your talents. You know, whatever you can do, man, it's time to get up. You know, okay, you said that was pretty much it on that. So we can go to this the last one.
That Acts 4.
Con.
What verses you want to start off on?
Start off on verse 34.
Okay.
Read down to verse. I need to read down to 37. Now this is an account, you know, of when time to ask the apostles, when there were certain people were selling their houses and selling their lands, and they were bringing the money to the apostles' feet so that they can distribute amongst the whole body. You know what I'm saying, that needed help. You know, so now we obviously know that we can't do this in this time because we don't own anything here. Most everybody's in apartments or, you know, renting a house. There may be a couple of us that maybe own a house, but we don't own land like that. But it's just a spirit of how they're willing to distribute amongst the body and help out the body. You know, that's the whole point of it. You know.
That's right.
So go ahead and start verse 34, Akia.
Gone. That's a bit. All right. So this is Acts chapter 4, verse 34, and it says, I'm gonna start at verse 33, bro.
Come on.
It says, "And with great power gave the apostles witness of the resurrection of the Lord Yahushua Mashiach, and great grace was upon them all." All right. It says, neither was there any among them that lacked. Mm-hmm. Okay. I want to pull that word lack up, if that's cool.
Con. It's fine.
Okay. So I'm going to look up Acts chapter 4 and 34. When you go into that word lacked, all right? Let's see here. That word there is pronounced endis. All right? It said needy or destitute. All right? So it said any of them, let me see, I'm going to read that again. Neither was there any of them that lacked or were needy or destitute. So these people had some type of something to give. They had some type of substance because they weren't needy at anything.
Right.
You know, they weren't destitute. You know, they had something to give.
That's right.
Okay? So I'm going to keep going. It says, for as many as were possessors of lands or houses sold them. There we go. I mean, these people had some type of substance to be able to do this, and they sold it. Mm-hmm. You know?
And yep,
it says,
and they you know, and so to link that up today spiritually, you know, we're not lacking anything because the Most High has blessed us with all spiritual understanding. You know,
right?
So we're not lacking in destitute because we're rich in faith, and so the Most High has given us the ability and the wherewithal and the wits and the wisdom to go out and maximize. And now we, like I said, we can't sell land, but you can still go out and, like the Apostle said, like with something I'm maybe looking into as well as a side hustle. You know, Uber Eats. You know, tons of things you could do on online. You know, learn how to build a website, take an online course. You know, do a little 2-month online course to get certification or something. You know. We've been blessed with that as well. We're not lacking in the spirit and wisdom and intelligence that the Most High has given to his chosen men. You know,
that's right.
So we're not lacking in that sense either. Like I said, we don't have lands, but we have other ways that we're not lacking. You know, and not destitute. You know. Go ahead, up.
God, brother, that was beautiful points, bro. I'm gonna read verse 34 again.
God.
It says, "Neither was there any among them that lacked." Okay. For as many as were possessors of land or houses sold them, and brought the prices of the things that were sold, and laid them down at the apostles' feet. And distribution was made to every man according as he had need.
Right, and so they put all that money together for that house. Because I said this was the beginning of the building of that house of David again. You know. And so they brought that money together to distribute to every man according as he needs. So that's something that can help us out in this time, man. Because we're really in the time of Acts all over again. You know,
that's right.
To those first fruits are being raised up, to where miracles are going to be started taking place, to where believers are going to come in, different Israelite sects or bickering and beefing with the doctrine. You know, we're back in the Roman captivity all over again because we're back in that beast system. You know, with the EU, NATO, and America being the spirit tip, you know, we're back in Rome all over again, you know? So there's nothing new on the sun. So we're in that same time now to where, you know, we can do that and make sure brothers are taken care of properly, you know?
That's right. That's right, brother.
Go ahead, up.
It says in verse 36, and Joseph, who by the apostles was surnamed Barnabas, which is being interpreted, the son of consolation, a Levite, and of the country of Cyprus, having land sold it, and brought the money and laid it at the apostles' feet.
Right. So that was pretty much the point on that, you know. No conspiracy is, you know, the whole point of Jake giving and utilizing what they had and what the Most High gave them with to help the body out, you know. That's the whole point. Utilize your talents and the gifts and the blessing that Yahweh Shemel Shai gave you to further what? Further this body, man. Keep this house running efficiently, you know? Through the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai. You know?
That's right.
And then the verse in the 5th chapter leads into what? Ananias and Sapphira, who were being selfish, holding back the money. You know? You don't want to be that person that's being selfish and holding back your talents and hoarding. You know, and not be willing to distribute to the actual body, man, because they were put to death on the spot just for holding back money. You don't know what Yahweh Shemel Shai could do to you, man. You don't know what type of mercy that you can get. You know, so you want to be willing to give and add to the body as much as possible. You know.
That's right.
But yeah, that was pretty much it on that. Just want to hit those few scriptures real quick on as far as Acts 4.
Gone. It was spiritual that it ended off when that chapter in that account, and you brought up Ananias and Sapphira. You know, because it talks about the severity of holding back that talent. You know, or those talents, and that can lead to death and destruction, man.
Yep.
You know, especially if it could have been used to save somebody's life. You know what I'm saying? Which ultimately is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is meant to save all of our lives. But you could have actually physically had a gift. You know what I'm saying? And offered it to a brother, and the brother never knew about it, and it could have saved his life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the importance of it, and that also shows that it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the Heavenly Father. You know, because He gave us these gifts to do. And with this being said, we talking about, you know, hey, more so financially right now.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we know all this accounts spiritual first, you know what I'm saying? But right now I'm going to financially, man, because again, we started off in Ecclesiastes 7, where money is a defense. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you don't have it to give, of course, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. But if you have certain talents and to use it, there's ways of making money within this thing.
Yeah.
There's ways of doing it. All right? Yeah. You just got to get up off your ass, like the brother said, and you actually have to do it. You got to execute. If you don't execute, like this is an analogy that somebody always says, you miss all the shots that you don't take. You know?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't take any of those shots, the coach going to be like, nigga, you complaining I didn't make no shots. You clowning somebody all year. They was only 3 for 25. Coach, look at you. How many shots you took? I took none. Shit, nigga, at least he took some shots.
Yeah.
What's your excuse?
That's right.
You know? Just a worldly analogy. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, man, if you got those talents, man, if you can definitely help out the body with tithes, help the apostles out, help the camp out, help their heads out. You know what I'm saying? Hey, through the Spirit, help yourself out. Of course, you know, gotta do it, man. Can't be waiting on other people to do it for you.
That's right.
Gotta seek out your own salvation.
Right.
Now, that's spiritually.
That's
to seek out your own salvation. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you gotta, well, not sometimes, but hey, you just gotta get out of the comfort zone. Because we're entering into very uncomfortable times, brothers. Mm-hmm. Like we were talking about, you might not have your job later on. You might lose your job. We're going to be put out there.
That's right.
You know? That's all I had.
That's all I had as well, brother. Beautiful points. Coming out to the Spirit, you know?
Hey, God, likewise.
You know, so like I said, Lord willing, this is edifying for brothers. You know, like I said, we always know that first and foremost it's all spiritual, but you know, just to land back off what Apostle Hart did a few months back, man, which like I said, the brother said it cut me as well. You know, you shouldn't, no way in hell you should be walking around without $20 in your pocket. You know, because one that can just help you out and fix shit that you got in your life. You know, whether it's tickets or different bills that you're responsible for, you know, it can do nothing but help you out and then allow you to have little money in your pocket until this place falls to help out the body, you know. So it's all about just getting up, man, and just maximizing yourself and kicking this thing in the overdrive, you know, and doing this thing, man. You know, on both sides, like I said, but you got to have balance with it, you know. It's not just end all be all, just go like saying just go chase money and all that and be the ultimate hustler, you know. That's not what it's about. You know, it's just want to put that out there for brothers. You know, make sure you understand that. But yeah, Lord willing, this, like I said, it was edifying for Akion. Did you have any closing remarks or anything, Ak?
No, that's it.
All right. Well, hey, we want to give all praises to Yahweh.
Yahweh. Ba'ashem.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Ba'ashem. Rakah
Kodash.
All right, double honor to the apostle and elder Great Millstone who rule well through the Spirit. A peace and blessing to the hopeful elect scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, preaching and living His word in sincerity and truth. All right, we almost out of here, Akion. Let's just keep fighting. Shalom.
Shalom.